Here's the news at 4. First, the highlights. Lagos State's government reaffirms commitment to intermodal transportation for economic growth. Vice President Kashim Shettima inaugurates National Economic Council's electrification polio ad hoc committees. On the foreign scene, United States unveils $500 million military aid for Ukraine. In sports, Super Falcons maintain 36th position in latest FIFA ranking. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. The Lagos State government has reiterated its commitment to maximizing the use of intermodal transportation system to boost socio-economic activities and minimize traffic-related losses in the state. Speaking at the closing session of the 5th Lagos Real Estate Marketplace Conference and Exhibitions, Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Oshiyemi highlighted the critical role of transportation in driving economic growth. He lamented the current situation where 90% of transportation in Lagos relies on road networks, with water and rail transportation accounting for just 2% combined. Oshiyemi described this imbalance as unacceptable, noting that Lagos accounts for 30% of Nigeria's GDP. He further emphasized that the state's future lies in building an eco-friendly Lagos with fewer cars on the roads, in line with Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's Themes Plus agenda. The Chief Judge of Lagos State, Justice Kazim Alugba, has sworn in 23 new notaries public at the High Court Complex, Ikeja, Lagos. Alugba administered the oath of office to the newly sworn-in notaries public as H. Lawyer made a solemn declaration before the Chief Judge and the body of benches, committing to uphold the integrity and responsibility of their new role. In his address, Justice Alugba emphasized the importance of the notary public to the judiciary and the legal system, urging the newly confirmed notaries public to maintain the highest standard of authenticity and integrity in their work. The Chief Judge also informed them that they should ensure every document notarized is legal and genuine, adding that the authenticity and accuracy of the document they handle are of utmost importance, as these documents often have both national and international implications. He further stressed the importance of the Office of the Notary Public, which is to aid the speedy administration of justice, while cautioning them that their stamp of office must not be used by anybody else, as it is against the rule of law. Stakeholders in road safety have rallied support for the formation of a special armed squad for the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRC. The stakeholders made their position known when they appeared before the House of Representatives public hearing on a bill seeking to amend some sections of the FRC Act 2007 in Abuja. They called for a speedy passage of the bill without recourse to sentiment, saying it was long overdue. Also, Corps Marshal of the FRC, Shehu Mohammed, said the FRC operatives had often been killed, maimed, and molested while on rescue missions. He said road safety law enforcement agents all over the world were all armed for security and safety purposes. Speaking earlier, the Chairman House Committee on FRC, Abiodun Adeshida, said the hearing marks a pivotal moment in the drive to reposition the FRC. He said as the country continued to evolve, so also was there the need to embrace innovations. Adeshida said aside from the clamor for bearing arms, the bill provides for more penalties for road offenses aimed at protecting personnel who often put their lives on the line. Now to the rest of the stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima has inaugurated the National Economic Council NEC Ad Hoc Committee on National Electrification and NEC Ad Hoc Committee on Polio Eradication. Shettima said there is no way Nigeria can dream of meaningful national economic development without addressing the power sector crisis and ensuring Nigerians have access to electricity and other affordable energy. He urged leaders in the country to rise above differences to confront the power sector crisis and become part of the reincarnation of Nigeria as an industrialized nation. Regretting that an estimated 40 to 70% of Nigerians have no formal access to electricity, Shettima said he is comforted by the knowledge that the caliber of experiences of state governors and other members of the committee will change the narrative in a positive trajectory. While inaugurating the NEC and Ad hoc Committee on Polio Eradication, Shettima urged members of the committee and stakeholders to reinvigorate effort to confront the reemergence of the disease head-on. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has unveiled a comprehensive plan to combat misinformation and enhance grassroots communication as part of the effort to strengthen inclusive governance in Nigeria. Speaking at the 48th National Council of Information and National Orientation in Kaduna, Idris highlighted the transformative potential of accurate, transparent, and accessible public information. Idris stressed the urgent need to counter the growing threat of fake news, which he described as a significant challenge to governance and public trust. To tackle this issue, he announced the immediate operationalization of the UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Institute in Abuja. The institute, the first of its kind globally, will equip Nigerians with tools to identify credible information and resist the influence of misinformation. In foreign news, the United States will give $500 million in military aid to Ukraine as part of an 11th-hour push by outgoing President Joe Biden to bolster the country's defenses before he leaves office early next year. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken unveiled the significant package of urgently needed weapons and equipment, which will include high-mobility artillery rocket system, ammunition, drones, and armored vehicles. President-elect Donald Trump's election victory last month could lead to drastic cut in U.S. military aid for Ukraine, a prospect that has led the current administration to rush through billions of dollars in early authorized assistance before he takes office. The new assistance followed closely on the heels of a $988 million security assistance package and a $725 million weapons package announced earlier this month. In sport now, Nigeria Super Falcons maintained top position in the latest women's world ranking, retaining their 36th position despite recording 2 wins in the period under review. The 9-time African champions defeated the Green Ladies of Algeria 2-0 and 4-1 in a 2-legged friendly. They lost 2-1 to Le Bleu of France in another friendly, but Justine Madugu's side also maintained top position in Africa. African champions Bayana of South Africa are second to West Morocco, Zambia and Ghana completing the top 5 on the continent. The United States of America retained top spot in the world, while world champions Spain moved to second position. Germany moved to the third position, while England dropped to 4th. And that's it on the news at 4. But just before we go, carry out proper and adequate checks on your vehicles before setting out. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration supported clusters of further rice farmers with modern technology and necessary support through the Lagos State Agro-Processing Productivity Enhancement and Livelihood Improvement Support Appeals? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. to end the news. Here are the highlights of the media stories. Lagos State Government has reiterated its commitment to maximizing the use of intermodal transportation system to boost socio-economic activities and minimize traffic-related losses in the state. Vice President Kashim Shettima has inaugurated the National Economic Council NEC Ad Hoc Committee on National Electrification and NEC Ad Hoc Committee on Polio Eradication. We also told you that the United States will give $500 million in military aid to Ukraine as part of an 11th hour push by outgoing President Joe Biden to bolster the country's defenses before he leaves office early next year. And finally, in sport, Nigeria Super Falcons maintained top position in the latest women's world ranking, retaining their 36th position despite recorded 2 wins in the period under review. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbolagun. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon and welcome to the return trip.